this video, I'm going to walk you through how I design and build a high-converting single-page fintech website in Framework. You will see how each feature explains about the fintech and how trust is built with layout, visuals, and micro interactions. And the best part, you get this website as a free Framework template. Just click the remix link and update your content, launch it in minutes. I have built a fictional brand called SwiftPay, which is created to showcase what a modern, high-performing, trust-building SaaS site should look like. And I built it 100% in Framework, light, fast, and fully responsive. Let me show you how I did it. Every project has 5 pillars. Those are project requirements, industry inspirations, style guide or brand guidelines, design inspiration websites, competitor websites. So let's see about that one by one. As we have already mentioned, these are all the 5 pillars for any of the projects. So coming to the project requirements, I have documented the project requirement of this website. So the project requirement is, here we need to use the name as SwiftPay Financial. The industry is fintech. The tagline should follow up smarter payroll, faster payouts. So these are all the page list, that is home, about us, solutions, pricing, testimonial, contact us. In this video, we will be creating only this home page. And the functionality should follow up the hero section with clear CTA, the CTA as start free trial, next plan animations for payroll automation, secure online sign-up demo access, pricing table with feature breakdowns, trust building elements, that is certification, partnership, or security badges. And finally, there is a unique requirements. So these are all the project requirements of this fintech website. So we understand the first pillar, that is the project requirements. The second pillar is industry inspirations. We need to take the inspirations of that particular industries. I have taken some of the inspirations in order to create the fintech website. And the third one is style guide or brand guidelines. We need to specify the style guides, that is with the colors. I have mentioned the primary, secondary, accent colors, and text colors. Even I have provided with the typographies, that is heading 1, 2, 3, and also the paragraphs. And even I have created the necessary button. So this is the button we are going to use in the project. And the fourth pillar is design inspiration website. We need to take out all the design inspiration websites. Not the industry specific, it's a design inspiration. You can take any of the inspiration, you can take any of the design inspiration from any website. So I have mentioned all the design inspirations which I have taken so far. This is the fourth pillar. And final fifth pillar is competitor website. We need to list out all the competitor websites so far. So I have taken out with some of the competitor website in order to create our fintech websites. So let me show you again. We need to specify about the project requirement details. We need to document it for our understandability. And then we need to take out some of the industry inspirations. And third one, we need to create all the bunch of colors and the typographies. We need to take out the design inspirations website. And finally, we need to take out the competitor website. Before we dive into the design, let me quickly walk you through the full structure of this fintech homepage. I'm going to start with a clean navigation bar. Super simple, making it easy to jump any section. Right after that, we have a strong hero section that clearly explains what SwiftPay does. Then comes the features section, where we highlight what makes this website great. Next is how it works, a short visual walkthrough of the platform. After that, there is a pricing section that's super easy to compare plans, followed by testimonials to show real user experiences and build even more trust. I have also included an FAQ section to answer common questions upfront, and a final call to action to push signups, and then we wrap it all with a clean footer with all the essentials. Every section here has a purpose and it's all built to convert while keeping the experience smooth and modern. So with this all the information, we are going to create a sitemap and a wireframe. So in order to create those, I'm going to use Realm.io. Here we are going to provide it with a prompt. Okay, let's generate that. So the sitemap has been created using this Realm.io. Just make sure to go through that for your ideas. And coming to the wireframe has been created for the homepage. So you can choose an app with this wireframe. Even if you want, you can regenerate that copy. Even if you want, you can change this particular component by using this replace components. So as like that, if you want, you can change the components of this wireframe. So with the help of this, I have already created a wireframe. So we will be having a header at the top, a hero section, a trusted partner section, a feature section, and here are the how it works sections. I'm going to create 3 how it works sections, and pricing section, testimonial sections, FAQ, a CTA section, and finally a footer section. So these are all the sections we are going to use to design our websites. So based on this wireframing structure, I have already created the design. So this is the design of the homepage. As we have said earlier, we have a navigation, a hero section, a trusted partner, a feature section, and how it works sections, a pricing section, testimonial section, FAQ section, CTA section, and finally footer section. So that with the use of this wireframe, we have restructured the fintech website design. So now we are going to develop this website in Framework. Let's see how we are going to make that. So now we are going to develop this website in Framework. So let's get into the Framework. So before starting the website, I have already created the necessary components and also the styles. I have created the text styles and links and all the color styles. Even I have created the necessary component, that is the button and even the nav bar. So let's go to the home page. Here we are going to embed this nav bar. So I'm going to the asset. Let me insert. So the nav bar has been inserted inside this. Now we need to create the hero section. Let me show you in the design. Here we are going to create the hero section. So at first, let's create a frame which will act as hero section. And let me take out this color. And coming to the nav bar, the position of this should be in absolute. Let me change it. And also let me adjust this position somewhere here. Okay. Then coming to the hero section, let me go to the design. We need a content wrap and also an image. Okay. So now inside this hero section, I'm going to create a container, and inside the containers, I'm going to use the 2 wraps. One is for our content and another one is for the images. So coming to this hero section, let me make the width to be in fill. Okay. And let me make the layout to be in stack. And inside this, let's create another frame. This will be act as container. And again, let me make the width to be in fill and height to be in fill. As of now, let's make it as fill. And let me take out this color, and coming to the max width, let me give the max width to be in 1200. Okay. And then make the layout to be in stack. Coming to the design, we need a content. So again, let me create and another frame that will be content wrap. And we need another frame also. So let me duplicate this. it will act as image wrap. Okay, let me take out this color of these two. Fine. Now coming to the design, let me choose up with this content. Let me use the plugin Figma to HTML. Let me copy to clipboard. Let me go here inside the content wrap. Let me paste. And for this, let me make the layer to be in stack. And now let make it to be in fit. Also with to be in fill. Okay. Now we need to specify the particular text styles to all this text and paragraphs. So coming to this, we need to give it as heading 1. And for this, let me change the style. Okay. And coming to this button, let me take out these 2 buttons and let me go to the asset. Let me insert it. Okay, let me duplicate it again. Let's change it to ghost button. And coming to this one, we need to take out this inside this content wrap. Let me take out this left content. And coming to this, alignment to be in the left. And for the text, let's make it to film. Okay, and let me adjust the a gap. Let me check. Okay, we need a much more gap, around 50. Okay, got it. We did it. And coming to the paragraphs, it doesn't seems good. So again, I need to give it as fixed content with 520. Okay. Okay. So that we have made the content wrap. Let's change the text of this button. So coming to this will be request demo. Okay. And then we need to add the images and also some statics. Okay. So inside this image wrap, we need to create another image wrap. So let me duplicate it and put it inside. And for this whole wrap, let me make it as stack. And only inside this image wrap, we are going to place all the images. And then we have the static wrap. So again, let me duplicate this. Let me rename it as statistics wrap. Okay. Now we need to change the directions. So make it as vertical. Okay. Okay, got it. And coming to the statics wrap, let's adjust the height somewhere like this. Coming to this height, we'll make it as fill. Okay, I hope it will be looking good. Now we need to add the images and the statics. We need to adjust the height of this image wrap also. After adding the images, let's adjust the height. Okay. Now inside this image wrap, we'll make it as layout. Inside this image wrap, let's add a frame in order to place the image. So it will act as image 1. That is this image. The sizing is around 170. Okay, let's change it as 170, 162 and 178. Okay, 160 and 180. Okay, and we need to place this image at the top. So with the positioning in the relative, it won't be possible. So let's make it as absolute and place it somewhere here. And now we need to place the image. So let's choose up with the image. So that we have placed the image, make it to fit. Okay. And now we need to add this and this image. Let's add that image also. So now I have added all the 3 images. Now let's adjust the height of this image wraps. So with the help of this, let's make the fixed height. Let's adjust it somewhere like this. Okay, let's adjust the, right now we need to adjust this images, so let's do that. So coming to the image whole wrap, let's make it as it to be in fill for the height. As of now, let's make it as fill. Okay, and coming to this image wrap, let's give the fixed height somewhere like this. Okay, and let me adjust this position that should resembles the design. Okay, and the image has been cut out, so let's make the overflow to be invisible, and as well as for the container, let's make it to visible, and for the image whole wrap and for the image wrap, let's make it to visible. Okay, so that it's looking great now. And then we need to add the statistics wrap design. Statistic wraps beneath this image wrap. So coming to this whole image wrap, let's give the gap. Okay, and again, let's adjust the height. Let me paste it somewhere here. Even it's touching on the top, so again we need to adjust its position. So now to do that, let me give the padding value for the image whole wrap to the top to be in 100 or somewhere 150. Yeah, it's looking great now. And coming to the statistic wrap, let me adjust the height as of now. And now we need to give this value. So again, I'm going to use the plugin Figma to HTML Framer. Let me copy this. I'm going to here, let me paste. So these are the numbers. Let me bring it here. Let me delete this one. Now we need to give the textiles for all these texts. So that we have added the text also. And coming to the statics wrap, let's make the layout to be in stack. Great. Let's make it to fit. Great. And again for the numbers, it's looking good now. So now we have create the hero section. Now let's add this gradient effect. Now let's add the gradient effect on each of its end. So let me select both these. Let me use the plugin. Let me go back here inside this hero section. Let me paste. Okay, and let make the position to be in absolute and absolute. Now we need to add a gradient effect on its each ends. So for that, let me create a frame. We should be inside this hero section. Let's make the position to be in absolute. Okay, and let's make the z-index value to be in 0. And for the color, it should be the accent color 2. Let me check. That is layer blur. It is around 230. So let me go to the styles. Let me add the blur. It should be 200. And let me paste it here. Let me bring it here. Okay, this will be the blue gradient. And now we need to add the purple gradient. So let me copy this one. And let me bring it here. That is around here. It will be purple gradient. Okay, and for this purple gradient, let me change the color. Okay, so that we have created the hero section also. It's looking great now. And then we need to add the a trusted by section. So again, I'm going to use the plugin. Let me copy, going here. Now inside the desktop, let me paste. Okay, and coming to the desktop, it's hiding behind. It's because in the desktop we have given the fixed height, so we'll make it to fit content. Great. And coming to this is the brand. Let me bring it here. Let me take out this one. And coming to this brand, let me make the layout to be in stack. make it as fill. Okay, coming to this text, if we want, we can create the text styles, because we are not going to use this particular text in somewhere else. So if you want, you can create the text styles or leave it as like this. Okay, and then we have the client logos. Even let me make it to fill. So great. And coming to this, and coming to the brand, let me make it as container. And let me give the max width to be in 1200. And coming to this, let's make it as fill. Let me make it to layout 1200. Let's make it the width to be in fill now. Okay, coming to this, let's make distribution to be in space between. Great. Okay, we have added a brand section also. Let me rename it as brand section. And then in the design, we have a feature section. Okay, so for that, let me add another frame which should be beneath this brand section. Let me bring it beneath this brand section. Let me name it as feature section. Okay, make it to fill. Okay, as of now, let's keep this height as like this. Let's take out this color. Okay, now we need to add the two wraps. One is for the image and another one is for the content. Okay, now let's create a container first and then two wraps. So let's create a frame. It will be act as container. Before that, let's make the layout. Okay, and for this container, let's make it as fill. And as of now, let's give the container height to be in fill. And coming to the max width, let's change it to 1200. Okay, and let me take out this color, and inside this we are going to create the two wraps. And before that, let's make the layout to be in stack. Now inside this container, let's create a frame. It will be the image wrap. Now let me duplicate this. It will act as content wrap. Let me select both and let me make the layout to be in stack and make it as fill. Okay, and then for both these wrap, let me take out this color. Okay, got it. Now let me go to the design in order to understand it more clearly. So here we have the image, the background color. There is a background color and an image, and we have some of the code. Okay, now coming to this image wrap, let's change the fill color to be in secondary. Okay, now let's give the radius to be in 20, and inside this we need to add the image. So let me add an image that should be inside this image wrap. Let's make it to fill and fill. And coming to this image placement, I have chosen up with the fill. Let's go to the choose image. Let's choose the image so that we have bring the image. Okay, now we need to add these two cards. Let me go to the plugin, Figma HTML. Let me copy to clipboard. I'm going here. Now inside this image wrap, let me paste. Okay, and for this, let's make it the position to be in absolute, and it should be pinned here and here. Let me bring it somewhere here. Let me check. Okay, and here. Okay, then what's the next thing is make the layout. And for the card, it's a frame. Make it as container for the understandability. And for the card, let's make the layout. Make it as content again. Okay. And again, stack. Fine. The same follows here. Stack. Container. This will be the content. Let's make it to stack with a gap of 5. Even if you want, you can create a component. So it's using only the 2, so I'm just leaving as little, but it is best practice to use it as a component. Okay, so we have 2 cards, and the problem is we can't able to view it. So it's because of, again, an overflow hidden. So let me go to the overflow and make it as visible. Okay, great. Now coming to here, the images is much smaller than the content. So let's adjust the width of this. The width is 518 and 718. So let's make the width to be in 518. So we have changed the width to be in 518. Oh, sorry, I forgot to give the width to in image wrap. So that will be 518. Let's make it to fill. Okay, now it's looking good now. Now we need to add the content. So again, I'm going to use the plugin. Okay, let me copy this. I'm going here, insert this content wrap, let me paste. Okay, then name it as container for the better understandability. And coming to this whole container, let me give a gap. Okay, so what I feel is, I think we need to increase the max width. So let me check. The width is around 1300. So I think let's change the max width to being 1300. Okay, yeah, now it's looking great. Now we need to give the appropriate text styles for each of the text and the paragraphs. So that I have added the text styles for each of the content, and then we have created a feature section also. Let's go back, and then is a how it works section. In this how it works section, we have 3 contents, each looking like a same. Here what I have planned is each of this card should be stacked one above the other. So it will look great, I think so. Okay, so next one is how it works section. And inside this how it works section, we have 3 cards. So what I have planned is to make this each card to be stacked one above the other. Even if we want, we can create it as a component. So it will be much easier. But what I feel is, and in each of this card, we have different types of images. So if you wish, we can create the various variant for each of the card, or we can avoid the component itself. But what I feel is it's better to use the component because of its reusability. So I think let's create a component and make the 3 types of variants. Okay. So for that, let me choose this one. Okay. So let's create this section. So I'm going here. Let me duplicate this feature section again. And let me rename it as how it works section. Okay. And inside this container, okay, fine. Let me bring the content wrap above this. And for the image, let me take out this card. Okay, fine. And for the content, we're going to change it. Now, let me use the plugin for this. Copy to clipboard. I'm going here. Insert this content wrap. Let me take out this. Let me paste. Okay. Now for this content text, let me make it to okay. So that we have the text here. And then let me check up with the image size. It is around 570. Okay, so it's for this image wrap, let me make it as 570. And let me adjust the height. And coming to the content, again, it's around 560. As of now, let me give the fixed height to 560 as of now, and later we can change it. Okay, let's just make it as space between for the container. And coming to this, again, let me increase the width a bit. It will be looking good. Okay, let's check out with this design. I found something is not right. Okay, let's set up with a padding value at first and later on do that later. So let me choose up with the container. Let's make it to center again. After that, we will decide. And coming to the padding, let's check the padding value. It will be around 50. Okay, let's make the padding value to be in 50. And coming to this, let's make it as fill as of now. And for this too as fill. Okay, and let's reduce the gap. Okay, fine. Okay, let's give the border and the background color. So I'm going here for the container. Let me give the background color. Let me choose up with the white and it is 30. Okay, now we need to give the radius to 20. Okay, fine. Now we need to give the background color. Let me check up with that. The color is, now let's give the background color. So the fill, let me choose the secondary color. Okay, we have given the background color also. Now we need to provide the gradient. So for that, I'm choosing this purple one. Going here, let me paste it inside this. Okay, now let me reduce the opacity gradually. Okay, now let me paste it, let me place. Okay, then, and coming to the image, so that we create. Okay, and then coming to this image, we need to give the background color for this also. Let me copy this, and this will be around 23. Okay, and I'm choosing up with this image wrap. Let me give the color. It is around 23. Okay, and again the radius will be 20. Great. And inside this, we need to add these two images. Now coming to the height, it is around 670. So for the container, let's make the height to 670. Okay, it's looking great. Let me zoom it a little bit. Okay, now we need to add these two images. Let me check out the height and width. There is around 210 and 230. So for this image, make it as 210, 330. We're going to place it somewhere here. So let's make the position to be an absolute. We paste it here. Let me check it again. There is 230. I have given it as 330. So let me change 230. Okay, we have two images. Okay, so again I'm duplicating it and pasting, keeping it somewhere here. Let me check out with the height and width, 260 and 230. Okay, so let's make the width to be in 260. Let me paste it here. Now we need to change the image of these both. Let's do that. We have to pin it here. Okay, so that we have added these two images. Okay, now as I have already said, we need to create a component. Okay, now in the container, let me add this tag. Will we act as how it works wrap. Okay, got it. Now we need to create a component. Let's create. It will be variant 1. We need to change the title, the paragraphs, and all the points. So for that, let's create the variables, and then is a text Okay, then is the points. So it will be act as point 1. This one will be point 2. This one will be point 3. And now we need to give the images also. Here we have a different types of image. In somewhere we will be using a single image. In somewhere we will be using we will be using 3 different images. So for that, I'm not going to create any variable for this image. Let's keep it as like that. I'm just doing the changes only to the text. Okay, now let's create another variant. That will be variant 2. Okay, now for this, I'm going to change the image for the second variant. So now in the second variant, I'm going to change the image as like in the Figma design. So this is the design. So let me check out with the width and height, that is around 490 and 320. So let me make it as 490 and 320, and let me delete one of the image and let me make it to be in the center. Now I'm going to change the image of this. Let me change it. So I have changed the image. Now let's create the third variant. And here we have 4 different images. I'm going to use this one, this one, this one, and this one. 4 different types. Okay, so for that, let's do that. So I have placed the image. Now we need to add these 2 images also. Let's do that. So that we have created the 3 different cards. Okay, now let's go back here. Let me duplicate it for thrice. Let me fix the height to be in fit content. And let's give the gap to be around 40. Let's check it up here. Okay, it's around 100. And for the second one, let's change the variant to 2. And for the third one, let's change the variant to 3. Okay, now we need to change all the text. Let's do that. I have changed the title, and let me change the text, and let me change the first point, the second point, and finally the third point. So we have already created the variant along the image. So let's skip on to the next card. Now we need to change the title, paragraph, and the points. So I have changed the title, the text, points, second point, and the third point. So that we have created all the 3 cards, and we changed the text also. So here what I have planned is each card should overlap one above the other. Let's see how we are going to make that. I'm going to the layers. In the how it works section, let me choose the first one, that is how it wraps. In this, let me change the position to be in sticky. We need to give the top value on where that particular card should stop. So for that, let me check out with the padding value. I have given it as 140. So let me give it as 100, for instance. Okay. Then for the second one, here let me change the position to be in sticky. With the top value, we have set the position to be in 100. Coming to the second card, we need to give the position value on the top, which is much more than the previous one. So we have already given it as 100. Here let us give it as 140. Okay, and for the third one, we are not going to make the position to be in sticky. Let's leave it like inner relator. Let's check how it's working. It's not working. So it's because of overflow. So let's change the overflow to be invisible. Let's check. Even it's not working. It's because of this desktop. Let's change the overflow to be invisible. It's working, but the third card is not visible at all. So it's because of z index value. Coming to the third card, let's give the z index value. So for that, let me go to styles, z index. Let me increase the value. Let it be 2. Let's check. Yes. Okay, now it's looking great. It's stacking one above the other. Here I feel there is a lot of space at the top. So instead of giving it as 100, let's make it as 50, and coming to this, let's make it as 100. Now let's check. Yes, it's looking good now. So that we have completed the how it works section. Let's move on to the next section. That is pricing section. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the plugin. So let me go plugins, Figma to HTML. Okay, and inside the desktop, let me paste. And it's not working because I didn't copy to the clipboard. So let me copy to the clipboard. Let me paste. Yeah. Now we need to do the appropriate changes to everything. So coming to the pricing, let's make the width to be in fill and height to be in fit. Okay, and coming to the title, and we have a pricing. Okay, then we have two things. Okay, so instead of giving the fixed value for this title and the paragraphs, let me give the width here itself. So let me make it as fit, fixed, and coming to this fill, and let it be in the same width itself. There's no problem. And we need to give a gap between these two. So coming to the pricing, let's increase the gap. Let it be 50. Okay, and then okay, what's the next one? Okay, we need to give the padding value at the top and the bottom. So let's give it as 140 at the top and 140 at the bottom. And coming to the pricing plan, they will make it as stack. Okay, and make it as fit. Okay, I think we need to give them max width or a width value for that. So instead of this, let's make it as fixed value for the pricing plan. For the pricing section, let's make it as fill. Okay, I hope it's look good now, but we need to give the text styling for the paragraphs and the titles and everything. Let's do that first and later on move on to the next one. So now we are going to change the text styles for every title and the paragraphs, and we will be changing the buttons also. Okay, so that I have changed the text styles for the title and the paragraph. Here we have the pricing card, and for this one what I have planned is let's create a component. Okay, so if we created a component, it will be useful for reusing that. So what we are going to do is we are going to create the two variants. One is for the normal and another one is for the popular. Okay, let's do that. So for that, let me choose the first one. Let me give the name as pricing card. Okay, and let make the layer to be in stack. Let me undo it. Okay, let me make the layer to be in stack and make the distribution to be in the start. Sorry, let make the alignment to be in the left, and let me give the gap. Yes, it will be fine, I think. Okay, and then let's give the height to be in fit. And coming to the padding value, let's give the top and bottom value to be in 20. Now let's give it as 30. Okay, 30 and 30. Okay, now let's make this pricing card in component. Let's create it. Okay, now it's coming to the variant. We have the title, price. Okay, here to let's make the layout to be like this and to be in the center. Okay, make it as fit, and coming to the points, let's change it as points. Okay, copy, copy, paste, paste, paste. Okay, done. And again for this, let me select, let me make the layout event stack. The same follows for every other points. Okay, and coming to the buttons, we need to add the button component which we have already created. So I'm going to the asset, let me insert the button. Okay, and coming to this button, let me delete this. For this button, we need to change the variant, and coming to the width, let me make it as fill. Okay, let me check up with the design. Okay, we need to give the spacing on the left and right also. So let me select the variant. Let me give the padding value to the right and left to be in 30. Okay, instead of start free trial, let me make it as choose your plan. Okay, this will be the variant 1. Now let's create the second variant. And for this, we need to change the button, and also I need to add the extra point. Also I need to add the extra point. Okay, and here we need to add the 2 gradients. So for that, let me go to the home page. Let me select with this one, and let me copy this. Let me go to the pricing, and inside this variant 2, let me paste. Let me bring it inside this variant. Coming to the blue, let me check. It's in the bottom here, and coming to the purple, it should be somewhere here, right? Okay, and now we need to give the radius value. So coming to the variant, let me give the radius to be 20. Okay, that. So that we have created the 2 variant. Now we need to give the variables for every title and the text and also the pricing. So it will be title, it will be the text, it will be price, and all the points. And I forgot to add the textiles for this. Let's add the textiles also. So now I have added the textiles. The reason I have created the 2 variant is because the popular pricing should be highlighted. So I feel I need to make this particular variant to be as a popular pricing. Okay, that's why I have created. So on hovering the button, it will work as it is. Now I need to create the variable. It will be 0.1. Okay, now let's go back to the home. Now coming to the third one, let me delete that. For the pricing card, let me duplicate it. And coming to the second price card, let me change the variant to be in 2. Okay, now let me give the gap somewhere 15. Okay, and then I need to change the title, right? So for this one, it's a pro, and this third one, it's exclusive. And for the exclusive, we need to add another point. So coming to the variant 1, we have the 5th point, right? So for the 5th point, let me create the visibility variables. So let's create a variable that is for the visibility. So by default, it will be in a no. Going to the home and coming to the exclusive pricing card, let me give it as visible. Okay, and here we need to change the text, right? We forgot to do that. Let me change. And coming to the pro, I have forgotten to add the text. Let me add the text also. So that I have added everything. Let's change the pricing also. $24, $24. $30. Okay, so that we have completed the pricing section also. Now, the next section is testimonial section. So let me duplicate this pricing section. Let me take out this pricing plan, and here let me change the text. Before that, let me rename the section to be in testimonial section, and let's rename the title on the text. Now we need to add the reviews. So for that, we need to add the frame beneath this title. So before that, let me make this as container. Okay, now below the title, let me add the frame. Okay, let me take out this white color and let me give the appropriate grab. Okay, let me name it as ticker section. Here we are going to add the ticker section. Here we are going to add the ticker because we have 3 columns of a bunch of reviews. It will be scrolling from bottom to top and top to bottom, somewhat like that. It will be happening. So for that, I am going to use the ticker. So inside this ticker, let me search for ticker. Let me bring it inside. For the ticker section, let me make the layer to be in stack. We have 3 tickers, so let me duplicate it for thrice, and for the direction, let me make it to be in horizontal, and coming to the 3 tickers, let's make it to be in fill and fill. Okay, now we need to provide the content inside this ticker. Okay, for that, let me select one of the reviews, and I have selected this. Let me go back to plugin, Figma to HTML. Let me copy to the clipboard, going back outside the canvas. Let me paste. It's not pasted. Let me take and place it here. Why it's happened, I don't know. I selected one of the reviews. Let me go to the plugin. Let me copy it to the clipboard. Going back, paste. So that we have copied this particular review. So instead of copying these testimonials again and again, we are going to create the component. Okay, for the reusability. So let me create the component as a testimonial. And for this, let me create the variable that will be act as review. This will be the image, right? So let me create a variable to be in image. It will act as, and this name will be act as name. This will be the designation. So for this text, let's create the variable as a review, and for this, let's create the variable as name, and for this will be the image, and for this it will be the job. Alright, okay, so that we have created this one. We will be using a bunch of reviews and we will be replacing that. Let me copy. So I have duplicated this. Let me copy, paste. We need more reviews, and for each of the reviews we can change the text, image and name and everything. Okay, as of now I'm not going to do anything because it will be the tedious process, so I'm not going to do that. So but you have to do that. Just I'm going to show you the variables. Here we have the review, here we have the image, name and job. Just do the changes here. And coming to the first sticker, let me select the first 3. Coming to the second one, the next 3. Coming to the third one, the last 3. Okay, let me select the first sticker, and coming to its properties, let's set the direction to be in upwards. And coming to the second one, let me set the direction to be in bottom. The third one, let it be at the top. And coming to the ticker section, let me give the appropriate gap. Let me make the ticker section to be in fill. Coming to the container, let me give the max width. It's getting cut off. Let me give it as fit content. Let me give the width to be in fill, but it's cutting out. So for that, I'm going to the container. Let me give the max width to be in 1200. Okay, let me check up with this one. It is around 1300, so let me make it as 1300. Let me go to the container. It will be 1300. Let me make it as fill. Okay, great. Okay, so that we have created the testimonial section also. Let me check. Yeah, it's looking great now. And the next one is frequently asked the questions. So for this, again, let me copy this testimony. Let me duplicate this testimonial section. Let me take out the sticker section. And coming to the title, we need to change the title and the paragraph. And coming to here, we have noticed both the content direction is in horizontal, so we need to change the direction. So coming to the container, let me change the direction to be in horizontal. Okay, and coming to the title, let decrease the width somewhere like this. Okay, let me think. Okay, and now we need to set the alignment to be in left, and this one should be in fill. Same. Okay, and for the title, let me give the width, gap to be in 20, and here we are going to add the frequently asked question. Let me check it with here. Okay, let me check the design. We have a line. Okay, so instead of creating from the scratch, I'm going to search for FAQ. Let me drag and place it inside this. We have forgotten to rename the section, that is FAQ section. Okay, now coming to here, let me take out this column and paste beneath this title. Okay, let me delete this one. So here we have an accordion. It's a component. Let me unlink and replace. Here we need to do the changes. Let me check up with here. Here we have a title and icons at the right. So here too there is a component. Let me take out this one. Let's change the color. 2016. Okay, 19. This will be this one. Okay, and what I feel is, let me reduce the opacity a little bit. Okay, that is for the answers. Yes. Okay, then what the next one? We need to add a small line at the bottom, so that we have created the FAQ section by using the predefined pre-built component which is in the framework. The one day you need to change the questions and the answers of it. Okay, we have a bunch of questions. Just I'm going to the Figma design. Here we have a bunch of questions. We need to copy these questions and answer, and we need to replace it. And for the container, we need to give the max width to be in 1200, so that after changing everything, the FAQ section is also ready. And the only thing is, we have a CTA section and a footer section. So we have completed the FAQ section. Let's move on to the CTA section. So for that, let me duplicate this FAQ section. Let's name it as CTA section. Okay, and coming to the container, let me take out this column, and this title will be fill. And coming to this one, make it the alignment to be in the center, and the same alignment to be in the center. Okay, instead of title, let me rename it as CTA wrap. Okay, and coming to the container, let me check up with the width. It's around 820, so instead of giving the max width to be in 1200, let me give it as 820. Okay, and then we need to add the button also. So I'm going to asset, let me insert. Okay, uh, it's not looking great. It's because we need to bring that button inside the CTA wrap. And let me adjust the gap between it. And coming to the container, okay, we need to give the appropriate spacing. So we have added the button. Now we need to give the appropriate spacing at the right, left, top and the bottom. So let me check. It's around 80. Okay, so I'm going here. Let me give the padding at the top and bottom to be in 80 and 80. So coming to the container, let's give the padding value at the top and bottom to be in 80 and 80. Great. Now coming to the CTA wrap, we need to change the title and the text. So let me copy this title. Let me go back inside, let me paste. Okay, and then coming to this, copy and let me paste. Okay, then coming to this one, it's around 630 width for the title. So let's give the fixed width to 640. Now coming to the CTA wrap, let me give the fixed width. Okay, it will be fine, I hope. Now instead of here we can notice that the CTS wrap is aligned to the left. So for that we need to make the adjustment. So coming to the container, the distribution is in the start. So let me make it as center. Okay, it comes to the center. Great. And I hope we need to increase the max width a little bit. So let me increase it. It will be fine, I think. And for the container, let me give the radius to be in 2020. And then we need to add the gradient effect. So for that, let me go here. I need to choose these two gradients. Let me copy this. And I'm going here. Let me paste. Okay. And these two should be inside the container. It's not at all good. It's not at all looking great. It should come inside the CTA wrap. So it's because of overflow visibility. Let's make it as hidden. Okay, great. Now let me check. Both this gradient is at the top. So coming to the purple, let me bring it somewhere here. And coming to the gradient, that is blue gradient, let me bring somewhere here. Let me check. Okay. Let me increase a bit. Let me increase a bit. And for both the gradient, let me decrease the opacity considerably. Okay, great. And then coming to the container, let's give the fill color to be in secondary. And coming to the button, let me change it to a white color button. Okay, get started for free. Okay, then so for now we have completed this CTA section also. Okay, it's looking great now. And finally we have a footer section. So what we are going to do now is, let me choose up with this footer. I'm going to the plugin. I'm going to the plugin, that is Figma to Framer. Let's copy to the clipboard. Going back and inside it, let me paste. This footer section has been pasted. I'll make the width to be in fill and let make the layout to be in stack. Great. Let me check with the gap, that is around 84. So let me give the gap to be 85. Great. And what's the next thing is we need to give the container of it. That should be around 1200. So coming to the framer, let me choose up with both these frames and let me create with add stack. Name it as container, and coming to the max width, let me give it as 1200. Great. And instead of giving the gap to the footer, let me change it back to 0. I'm giving the gap to the container, that is around 80. Okay, then and coming to here, let me name it as link wrap, and this will be social wrap. It is a logo. Let's make it as fit. Okay, and those are links wrap, and this one links. Okay, it's looking great. Now coming to the link wrap, let's make the layout to be in stack. Okay, it's looking great. Let's make it to fit content. Good. And then coming to the bottom, let me take this one. This is a copyright, and this is the social icons. So that we have completed the photo section also. This is the home page of the Building Fintech website. And now we need to create the responsive. Now we need to create the breakpoints. So coming to the desktop, just click on this breakpoint. Here we have a tablet, phone, and a custom. Okay, let me create it with custom, that is desktop 1200. So the width will be 1200. I'm creating another breakpoint, especially for the desktop, especially for the breakpoint 1200. Let me check. Okay, it has been created. Now let's check it out with this. So coming to the hero section, it's already in the max width of 1200. So coming to the hero section, let me give the padding value to be in 30 and 30. And let me adjust this. It will be in 0. Let me bring it somewhere here. Okay, it's not. So let me reduce it a little bit. Okay, now it's looking good. If you want, you can adjust the gap, but for me, I don't think so. And the next part is this one. And again, for this, coming to the feature section, let me give the padding to be in 30 and 30. Now it's doing great. And coming to the title, it's in a fixed width. Let's make it to be in fill. And again, I'm choosing up with here, I'll make it as fill. And again, it's in fit, so let me change it to fill. Now it's looking great. And coming to this, it's in fit. Let me change it to okay. Now it's looking great now. And coming to this one, that is for the card, let me adjust somewhere here. So that, and coming to this feature, let me make it to fill. Features, fill, okay, great. Now the next part is how it works. This coming to this how it works. For the how it works section, let me give the right and left to be in 30 and 30. Okay, now it's look great. And even for the pricing, it's for the safer side, let me give it to 30 and 30. And for the testimonial, 30 and 30. The frequently asked questions, 30, 30. As of now, it's looking great. And yeah, we forget to create the component for the footer. So let me select with the footer. Let's create a component that will be the footer. Okay, and coming to this, let's give the padding to be in 30 and 30. Coming to the logo, yeah, it's because of this, make it as fill. And we need to create the tablet and phone. So let me create the variant that will be for the tablet. It is around 810 as of now. Let me give it as fill. Let's check. It's not looking great, so let's change the direction of this bottom. Let me make the direction to be in vertical. Instead of space between, let's bring it to center. Copying to the copyright, let's make it as fill and a space between. Okay, and coming to the social icon, it should be come to the center. Okay, let me give it a center with a gap of 50 or 20. Okay, and coming to the tablet, then make the height to be in fit content. The same follows for everything is looking good. Yeah, coming to the social wrap, it's in the fixed height, then make it to fit content. And coming to here, it's not looking great, right? So let me go back to the desktop, that is main desktop. Okay, and inside this, let me create a stack. Okay, this will be a stack. It's another one. Let me create a appropriate spacing. Now let me come back to here. Yeah, now it's look great. Let me make it to 15. Okay, then we have a phone breakpoint. Let me change the width to be in 390. And coming to this link wrap, let's change the direction of space between, it's in center. Let me decrease this one. And for the logo, let me make it a stack. Okay, and coming to this copyright, let's make the direction to be like this, and it's in center with 15. No, okay, yeah, and let me decrease it. And here what we feel is I need to bring this copyright below the social icon. Yes, now it's looking good for the phone. Okay, and coming to the phone, let's make the padding to be in 20 and 20. The same follows for the tablet, 20 and 20. So that we have created the component for the footer. Or let's come back to here. So now we have completed the desktop 1200 breakpoint. Let's go up with the tablet. Now we have the tablet breakpoint. Coming to this, let's make it to little 100. Yeah, tablet. Okay, and coming to this, that is the hero section. Let's go back to the container. Let's make the direction to be in vertical. Okay, and for the hero section, let me increase the height. Okay, and inside this container, everything is great. Yes, the image wrap. And coming to this image wrap, let's decrease the padding value at the top. Let's decrease the padding value. And what's the next problem? Is in the center. Let's make it to start. Okay, and for the container, now for the hero section, Okay, now let's decrease it. Okay, and coming to the container, it's already in the center. For the hero section, let's give that top banding value to be in 250. No, 200. Let's work around on it. Yep, it's okay, I think so. So that we made like this. Now what I feel is we need to make it to be in the center. So coming to this content wrap, let make the element to be in the center. And for the text, let's make it to be in the center. And coming to the title wraps, let's make the distribution to be in the center and alignment to be in the center. And I hope everything is looking great now. Okay, then the next thing is image wrap. We'll make distribution to be in the center. Okay. Okay, great. Let's move on with statistics. Okay, it's already in the center. Third, we have completed the hero section. Now coming to the brand section, even it's looking great. Now the next thing is the framers feature section. Let's bring the direction to be in vertical. Okay, then what's the next thing? It's in a fixed height, so we'll change it to fit content. Okay, and coming to the container, let's make it to fit content. And again, it's not showing up. Yes, coming to the height, fit content. Okay, let me check. Is it looking great? Yeah, it's looking good now. So now let's come on to this how it works section. And inside it, we have created a component. So in this component, I have already created the variants for the phone, tablet, and also the desktop. Let me show you that. Okay. So let me go back to the home, and for this, how it works, wrap, let me change the variant to tablet 1, the same follow-ups for other 2 variants. This is tablet 2 and this will be tablet 3. Okay. So that we have completed the how it works section. Let's move on to the pricing sections. And let me choose up with this title. It's in a fixed position. So let me change it to fill. Okay. And then coming to this pricing list, it's not looking great, right? So let me change it to wrap, okay? And let make the alignment to be in the center. The same follows for distribution. Let's make it as center. Okay, fine. Now it's looking good. And then we have a testimonial section. And coming to the title, let me check up with everything. Okay, it's looking great. Let me make the width to be in fill. Coming to the ticker section, the reviews are not visible, right? So what I feel is, let me hide one of the ticker. So I'm just choosing up with the third one. Let make the visibility to no. Okay, so it's look fine. And also let me check up the direction. It's going up, and coming to this, it's going down. Yeah, great. And the next one is frequently asked questions. Okay, great. Even it's looking good. And also we have provided with the padding value of 100 at the top and 100 at the bottom. Let me check up with the testimonial. We forgot to do that. Yeah, it's in 100. And for this, it's 100. And for the how it works, okay, great. So everything seems good. Let me go up with the CTA section. And coming to the CTA, it's okay. Let me check up with everything. So whenever I try to click on it, the gradient is getting clicked. So for that, let me log this one. Okay. Let me check out with the width. Let me reduce a bit. Okay, fine. It's looking good. And finally, we have a footer section. The variance is in tablet already. Okay, great. Okay, so that we have completed the tablet breakpoints. Let's move on to the phone breakpoint. So let me create the breakpoint. phone. So that the breakpoint phone has been created, and let me zoom it. Okay, let me adjust this position somewhere here. Okay, and for this the variant is a phone. Okay, fine. And let me take this breakpoint to be at the top. Okay, and coming to the hero section, I'm just choosing up with a title. Yeah, it's making the mistakes. So let me choose up with these two things. Let me make the width to be in fill, and for this let me make the width to be in fill. Okay, okay, again whenever I click on this, the gradient has been selected. So let me select these two, and let me make it to lock. Okay, and then for the hero section, the padding value at the left and a right seems to be too large. So let me select this hero section. Let me make the padding value to be 20 and 20. Okay. The height of the padding value on the top seems to be too large. So let me select this hero section. Let me give the padding value at the top to be 150. Okay, great. And let me choose out with this image wrap, and let me make it as fill. Okay, great. And then let me reduce this height and width of this image. The same follows for the other image. Let me place it here. Let me decrease it considerably. Let me paste it somewhere here. Okay, let me reduce it again. Let me zoom it first. Okay, and let me reduce it. It's showing up like this. So okay, first let me delete this image wrap, and then the hero section height, let me reduce it. Okay, now let me come back to this image wrap. Let me paste it here. Great. And coming to this image whole wrap, let me reduce the gap. And instead of giving the height to be in a fixed, let me change it to fit content. It's looking great now. So that we have completed the hero section of this phone breakpoint. Let's move on to the next one, that is the brand section. And coming to this trusted by heading, let me make it as fill. Okay, and coming to the client logos, let us make it as center. Let make the wrap to be S. Okay, let make it to be in fit content. Great. Let me increase the gap. Fine. Let me check up with the padding also. And for the brand section, we haven't given the padding value. So let me give it as 20 and 20 to the right and left. Okay, it's looking great now. And then we have features section. This is the feature section. Let me go back. Let me go to the image wrap. Let's make it to fill. Okay. Let me decrease the height. Okay. And then we have the card. And for this, let me check up. Okay. Okay. Now let me try to fine. And make it as fit content. Okay, great. Let me paste it at the center. So for that, I'm going to use the pinning, make it to center. Okay, now it's looking great. But only the thing is this container. So again, let me make it to fill. Okay, and let me again make it to fill. And for the card, let me give the padding values for approximately 5 and 5. Okay, the same follows for the next card. Padding value 5 and 5. Okay, so that we made the changes to the image wrap. Let me check out with this feature section for the padding value the right and left. So let me make the padding value the right and left to be 20 and 20. Okay, great. Then again, it's not looking great. Again, I'm doing the pinning for the center. Okay. And for the content wrap, let me choose up with this features. Alright, it's looking weird, right? So we have used the two wraps. So for this first wrap, that is for this first row, let me make the direction to be like this and make that to be in the center, the distribution to be in the center. And the same follow-ups, the direction has to be changed to vertical, distribution to be in the center, and alignment to be in the center. And now coming to the first, again, let me change the distribution to be in the center, alignment to be in the center. The same follow-ups, center, 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 center. And by just doing on this, what I feel is it's better to use the component and the starting itself. So if you have the design, something like that, it's better to use up with the component. Once you do the changes in the components, then it can be reusable in all others. So now I feel it's better to use up with the components, but I didn't. Let's do the changes manually. Let it be in the center, alignment to be in the center. And for the text center, again, center, 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 the same here, center, great. So that we made some changes. Let me reduce the gap a little bit, okay? And coming to here, this for the container, let me decrease the gap, let it be 50. No, let me give it as 60 itself. And coming to this, let it be 40. Okay. And coming to this whole thing, that is row 1, let me give the gap to be 20, and here 20, and inside it let me give the gap to be in 20. Okay, great. The next one is how it works section. First, let's change the padding value. Let it be 80 and 20 and 20. And coming to this component, let me collapse it. Okay, coming to this how it work wrap, let's make it to phone variant 1, and for this phone variant 2, and for the third one phone variant 3. Okay, it's perfect. And coming to this gap, we'd make it to 50. Okay. And then we have the pricing section. And coming to the title, for the subtitle, let's make it to fill. Okay. And before that, coming to this pricing, let's give the padding value 80, 80 for the top and the bottom, 20, 20 for the left and right, and let the gap be in 50. It's no problem. Okay, everything seems good now. Okay. Then we have a testimonial section. So for this, let's give the padding value 80, 80, 20, 20. The gap to be 50. And coming to this, I think let's change the direction. Instead of horizontal, let it be vertical. Okay. And coming to the first ticker, let's change the direction to be in the left, and for this to be in the right. Okay. Now it will look good and make it to fit content. Okay. Then we have a frequently asked question. Let's change the padding value to be 80, 80, 20, 20. And for this container, let's change the direction to be in vertical. Okay. Let's do this. And coming to the frequently asked question title, let's make it to be in fill. Okay. Instead of making it like this, let's make it to be, let's make the alignment to be in center. The same follows for the subtitles. Great. Oh, great. And finally, we have a CTA section. And coming to this CTA section, and let me go to the CTA wrap. Let's make the width to be in fill. Great. And coming to the CTA section, we forgot to do that. Let's make it to 20, 20, and 80. Okay, great. And inside this containers, again, let's give the padding value to be in 20 and 20. Okay, great. Yeah, it's looking good now. And coming to the footer section, we have set the variant to be in phone. And for the highlight, we give it to fit content. Okay. So that we have completed the phone sections. Sorry, we have completed the phone breakpoint also. And coming to the link, we need to set the link. Okay, when I click on the feature, it's just go to the feature section and how it works section and pricing section. Let's see how we're gonna make that. And before setting the link, we need to set the scroll section for each of the section. Okay, coming to the feature section, let me go here. Let me select the scroll section and let me name it as feature. Okay, and we have a how it works section. Let me give the name it to how it works. Great. And then we have pricing. So let me go to the pricing section. And for the scroll section, let me give it as pricing. Okay. Now let's go to the navigation bar. And here, let me click on the link. The link should go to the home. And we need to set a section. The section is feature. Okay, it shouldn't create the new tab, so it should be in no. The scroll should be like a smooth, not an instant one. So let me choose up with the smooth. The same follows for the how it works. I'm just going to the link. Let me choose the home, and is how it works. It should be smooth. And for the pricing, link home, pricing, smooth. Okay, let's check up with this one. It's working. How it works, pricing. Great. So this is how you need to give the links. And also for the footer, we haven't do that. So again, I'm choosing up with the feature, home, feature, smooth, the pricing, whole, pricing, smooth. For the contact as, either you can use the separate contact as a page, or you can give the mail ID here. It's up to you. And for the Facebook, Instagram, X, and LinkedIn, you can give the links as we have did before. So coming to the Facebook, you can use the link, or let me give it as www.facebook.com. So here you can provide your profile, okay, for the Facebook, Instagram, and X and LinkedIn. Okay, so this is how you need to do. And one more thing is, if I give the Facebook link, it should not open in the same tab. It should open in a new tab. So here you can give it as new tab. Okay, so this is how you need to do. So let me show you the entire thing. So this is what we have created for the fintech website, along with the responsiveness for the desktop breakpoint, tablet breakpoint, and a phone breakpoint. Hope you all have liked this. So now we are wrapping up the video. If you are building anything in the SaaS or fintech spaces, this template will give you a massive head start. Save your developer hours for your actual product. Framer handles the front end for you. So grab the free template, give it a spin, and let me know what you build with it. And then, if this video helped, hit that like button, subscribe for more Framer builds, and drop a comment if you have any niche you want me to tackle next. I will see you in the next one.